And we have for you details now on the entire process. So, not just the timeline, something we've been sharing with you so far. We've been sharing with you the timeline that stretched back to January, how these 7 people came into contact with each other. They're all, remember, from different regions of the country. Now we also have with you a more detailed timeline of the day itself, and we're going to be sharing those details with you in just a second. There are 7 people, remember, that we are talking about right now. My colleague Anand Narsimhan joins us with all of these details. Anand, over to you.
Well, morning to Toya and to our viewers, and I think this is a big development. Our investigations editor Manoj Kumar Gupta getting us these details. What we're given to understand is that all of them connected about a year ago via the Bhagat Singh fan club, and after that, Sagar Sharma reportedly is the mastermind. Now we are given to understand that it was Sagar and Manoranjan who actually planned this whole thing. This entire misconstrued entire thought process that Bhagat Singh himself was a Naxal or an ultra left or a communist. Now that has perhaps also fueled all of this. We'll have to get into that later. But more importantly, how it was plotted is that they had been going through a recce and going through this for months earlier this year itself. Now we're given to understand that they were trying to get a Lok Sabha access pass via Pratap Sinha, even for at least last 3 months. But we're given to understand that Sagar and Manoranjan had been planning this. They had stayed in Gurgaon for 3 days ahead. The entire act had been plotted for nearly about 11 months. Sagar had come earlier from Lucknow and also come to the parliament from the outside without going inside. We do not know whether he's actually gone in before, but what we are given to understand is that they did plan this out. They all connected via this Bhagat Singh fan club. That's the basis for which that's how they all from different corners of the country have connected. They all have certain leanings. The lens is on this entire angle of urban Naxalism, but more importantly, this is not something which has happened spontaneously. It's been plotted. Now we have to see who are the people who encourage them. But 2 canisters were shared between Manoranjan and Sagar. They hid it under the bottom of the shoe with the idea of jumping down into the parliament and trying to create. The others were actually supposed to protest outside parliament and create a lot of perhaps noise outside, of which only 2 did. We are also given to understand that some of them were not allowed because one of them was coming in with a child. And the whole idea was to try and ensure that there is no doubt placed on their antecedents or their actual intent because of how they would enter. They all entered separately. But we are given to understand that this is something that has been planned for a long time. Sagar Sharma is emerging as the mastermind. He had hid pamphlets also, and they were intending to throw pamphlets. The smoke bomb was purchased from Latur, Amol in Latur, and it was collected by Sagar from Kurla. So, who are the people who supplied him the smoke bomb? Is there a greater network involved? Who is it that Sagar was in touch with, or who has encouraged Sagar to do what they have done? Is this an attempt to try and reenact what Bhagat Singh and his friends had done in during the time of the British Raj, and to try and register their protest with the intent to cause no harm but to cause a certain level of attention and to raise attention? Has it been inspired from there? Who asked them to take a leaf out of what a freedom fighter did? And what is it that has driven them to take an extreme step like this? They all met in Mysuru, we are given to understand, over a year ago. And that is where I think this entire thing has been planned. And that's why this has not been something which has happened overnight. And 9 months ago, they had decided that they will protest in parliament. So it's something which has been cascading over a period of time. And how far gone were they? How far motivated were they? Is Sagar of sane mind? We have to understand, because this the level of planning that he has driven is clearly quite intense. Now, so far, out of the 7 people who were involved in it, one of them is still absconding. 6 have been arrested. Sagar right now seems to be the person who has spilled the beans, and he was leading it along with Manoranjan. These were the 2 who actually jumped into parliament. The others were supposed to actually create noise outside, protest outside with placards. They were planning to try and fly some pamphlets also on the floor of the house. They had small canisters of a smoke bomb. He actually brought bought shoes. he was the one, Sagar was the one who bought the shoes with and got a cavity made inside those shoes. So who was the cobbler, the shoemaker, whose support they enlisted? Was it done in a remote village or in a remote area? Because they have traveled quite a bit extensively, and they've gone through great pains to try and actually source all of this and give shape to their entire plan. 9 months
Okay.
ago, they had decided to protest. 11 months ago, they met in Mysuru. So overall, somewhere one gets the understanding that this is something that's been carefully planned. Now, who is backing this Bhagat Singh fan club? Who seeded this idea in Sagar's mind? Who has actually helped them put it all this together? Does it stop only at this Sagar Sharma and also the other person absconding and the five others? Because six are in custody, one is absconding. All of that now continues to remain a subject matter of investigation. But one gets the sense that this doesn't stop with these seven people.
Okay.
Some larger hand is involved. Who they are and where they are operating from, that question needs to be answered.